All right, y'all. Welcome to the first episode of the StaleFace Podcast. The purpose of this podcast is basically for y'all to get to know us better, just beyond email and Instagram and everything else. You can understand what we feel about the brand, how we're innovating in our daily lives, and just kind of our views on certain topics. Introducing myself, my name is Cooks, at Life by Cooks on Instagram, half co-owner of StaleFace Inc. A little bit about myself, 24, from Dallas, Texas, electrical engineering major, married and all that stuff. So yeah, just a little bit about me. And we also have the other half of StaleFace here, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Tecumseh, the other co-owner of StaleFace Inc. I am an undisclosed number of how many years old I am. That's not important.
Don't slide past that one.
I am from up north, and
so you from the north?
I'm from the north. Winter is here, and I was a mechanical engineering major from UT Arlington, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So the purpose of this, like we said before, is just so you can understand us and the brand better and have a better relationship with us. So basically what we'll be talking about today is what our brand is, what our brand's goal, the innovations we want to see and what does that mean to us, and then how are we innovating in our daily lives through what we're reading. So basically the first thing we want to present to you is StaleFace Inc. itself, and what does that mean? We have a lot of people come up to us or on Instagram or something and be like, yo, y'all's name is weird. I've never heard of anything like that before. What does StaleFace Inc. mean? And our meaning actually comes from, the meaning actually comes from the name itself.
Meaning actually comes from...
We just got back from the gym. I'm parched right now. But the meaning actually comes from the name. So a stale face is a sarcastic expression made when something irritates or bothers you, but you have to maintain an outward professional demeanor. And Inc. comes from, it stands for innovation never ceases. So the overall goal of our brand is to have people that are partakers of our brand innovate ways to to create solutions, to solve problems and make them make stale faces. And so I'll let Tecumseh explain, like, I gave you definitions, but what does that mean in application?
So application would be like, let's say a scenario where something this is something that's probably happened to a lot of us. You go in the bathroom and you do your business, and then you look over and then the toilet paper roll is empty. That's definitely a moment when I'm irritated and I'm making a face. Or, somebody says something dumb at work, or, just makes a bad decision, or, makes a bad joke or something like that. And, your expression is kind of like, what? And you just kind of give them that's, it's basically the squinting eye face that you give to people. And you don't really know that you're doing it. But that is a stale face in application. And so... that's the response that you have to, your outward appearance that you have to remain in a professional demeanor, or, it's, again, I think one of the early, the early rendition that it was a response at a situation of ridiculousness, which is that's just a whole lot of isnesses. Yeah, that's a whole lot of isses and nisses and stuff. So we had to shorten that up and change it up for the comeback. But yeah, that's pretty much the thing of what a stale face is in application.
And the thing is, like, the great thing about our brand is that you guys do this every day, whether you realize it or not. It's not something that you're being introduced to. It's something that you've been doing already, and we just put a name to it. Like for me, I had an encounter at work where I was talking to my boss, and my boss was talking about one of his friends who had retired. And his comment was that this guy's been working here for 35 years. What a shame that he had such a short career. And I made a StaleFace because I'm not trying to work there for 35 years. And if you're listening to this, I do enjoy my job. I'm glad you guys have me there, but I'm trying to retire before then. One of my wife's goals is to retire before she's 40. So going with that kind of goes against their mindset and the way that they envision their work experience. And for me, after making the StaleFace and kind of telling my boss I'm not planning on being here that long, that's one thing, but also you have to innovate a solution to solve that problem. And so the innovation that I came up with is I'm a part of now, is StaleFace Inc. So that will be my tool, my method of getting out from under that perception and creating that particular solution. So StaleFaces, you're already making them. Innovation is great. How do you innovate a solution to the problem that makes you make a StaleFace? So when you look at, anybody can come up with just problems. I can go through and list every problem in the world, but if you can't come up with a solution, you're basically just complaining. So our goal is to not continue to complain about some of the things that happen in the world, but also offer a solution to that. And that's basically what we want to do. So what is your goal for StaleFace as a brand? Like, what do you want the brand to be known for? What do you want it to do and everything like that?
I want to see the brand be honestly a household name and turn into a umbrella of different things and initiatives. Again, the thing about it, the lovely thing about what we do with StaleFace is that it's relatable to pretty much everybody in some type of way. And that's the wonderful thing about it across the board, and that helps us to reach that goal. And like I said, for me, it's reaching the youth. Definitely reaching to people that having them realize that, oh yeah, I do make that face at certain things, or I do have that response to those instances throughout the day, and it's now it's funny, because now it's like you can see that we point it out, something that you've done all your life and in different situations, and so now it's a humorous aspect, but then we bring it back to the innovation part of it, and you're able to create situations to resolve your everyday issues. You get up and stub your toe in the morning, hit your toe, something. You probably say a
couple choice words.
Right, you probably say a little bit of profane words.
And if you don't, kudos to you.
Right. But, those are just moments and things like that where now it's like, okay, we're bringing that to your immediate attention. And, to grow internationally is something that I'd love, the brand to do, to be, featured in, the magazines like Forbes and, Black Enterprise, Business Weekly, whatever it may be, all the goals and astronomical goals that most people don't think that they can achieve. That's what I want, and that's what we're going for. And exactly. I think you probably heard us say this on the other another program, but those who are going after $1 million have more competition than those who are going after $10 million. There's less competition the higher up you go, because more people don't think they can ever get there. So I'm kind of veering off because I'm rambling a little bit, but I guess immediate goals is to really take over, the area where it all started, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That is the biggest market right now that know about the brand. So to pretty much,
it's the biggest market for now, because we have hands in other areas. At
right,
the moment.
Absolutely. We have some plans, some flags planted in other places already, and we haven't even really
launch like that.
Then a hard launch like that. So we're really excited, and just to see the demand for something like that come back, and to see the excitement that's building around it is really, really wonderful. And to see, like it has been before, because this is a relaunch, and if we want to get into that story, we can. If we don't, we don't have to. But to see people that you don't even know wearing your stuff is an exciting thing, because they can walk right by you, and they don't even know who you are. They don't know that you own that, and that's an exciting feeling. Like, dang. And so you have people who will be like, you'll talk to them like, man, that's a nice shirt or whatever it may be, and you'll be like, yeah, I'm the owner, and then all of a sudden you feel like a celebrity a little bit, and the people, people will look at you like, oh wow, you're the owner of this, you can be like, yeah, and so, but making sure that we get the message out about what it's about and the purpose of it is the biggest thing. That's the financial gain that we get from it will be great. That's like cherry on top, but the real mission behind it is that's going to carry it. Exactly.
And so once the purpose of this podcast basically is for this, so you guys can know what the purpose of it is. If you look at our website and just look what we've written, we're really big on self-education and just education in general. And so we want to be able to take this message into high schools or freshman levels of college, and we'll be able to say, hey, we want you guys to innovate solutions, because oftentimes through just the organized school system, there's pros and cons to organized school systems. But one of the cons is that you get trained into a certain mode of thought, and so now you're only able to think in that particular vein of like thinking, and we want to have people break away from that. And also just through both of us being engineering majors, I really do have a passion for the STEM field. So being able to give back to that and encourage kids that they can be engineers. I had at my job, I had a high school person, girl, that she won a particular scholarship, and so she got to tour our company and everything. And one thing I told her was that engineering is great. Engineering is fun to me. It's time consuming. It's difficult. But don't think you can't be an engineer just because you can't do engineering just because you don't have a math background. To me, all engineering is problem solving. If you're able to problem solve, you're able to engineer. Now, in engineering major, when you're in college, there's a lot more math, science, and whatever involved, but the basic principle is the same. You're given a problem, you need to be able to solve it, and that's all that is. One thing I really want to tackle is just the exposure of the engineering program to high school kids, because a lot of times, a lot of high school kids don't know what engineers do at all. I had no idea what an engineer did until I got to college, and then I found out. And just being completely honest, if you Google engineer and click on images, I don't want to be like any of those people. They look like construction managers and like nerdy and dorky and all kinds of stuff like that. So we don't have, I say we as engineers, we don't have that outward attractiveness. And on top of people not knowing what we do, it kind of creates a limit on exposure and integration of that particular field, because there's not a lot of people that look like me, and I'm black, but there's not a lot of people that look like me in the engineering field that are American born. And so we want to be able to relate to high school students and be like, hey, we're engineers and we're regular people and we look like y'all and we think like y'all, and if we can do it, y'all definitely can do it. So that's one of my big passions, is be able to break that barrier and say, no, just because you look a certain way or you think you don't think a certain way, you're still able to become an engineer, because you just break that down into just simple problem solving. And if you can solve a problem, you can be an engineer. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball. That's all that is. If you just take that big concept of engineering and break it down to its fundamentals, you're just solving problems. And if you can do that, you can become an engineer and you can become proficient in it. And you can be great at it. And it pays very well. So, yeah, that's